Before I let the video start, I want to clarify a few things. For starters, this is a compilation based on videos that I've started doing in February this year, that being GameCube Gaggle. I explain it more in depth in my playlist's description, but to summarize, this is a mini series where I showcase all my GameCube games that I've owned and talk about them from a casual perspective. If you're not seeing any of those videos, or you have but haven't watched them for a long time and you want to watch them individually, the links for them will be in the description below. It's kind of ironic that I'm combining all my episodes together because, fun fact, this series was originally going to be one full video. I mentioned this before in the first episode's description, but to reiterate, this series was originally meant to be one long video, but due to me accidentally shooting all the footage in 4K, not knowing the sizes can take up gigabytes levels of storage, I decided to split them and make a series out of it. It's also worth noting that I was using a different camera at that time. Don't ask me if I still have it though. It was for school properties, and the only reason why I have it in the first place was mainly for my FMP. In terms of changes made to the video, there aren't many changes to begin with, but I would like to mention that the Wrath of Cortex video that I made for this series does have some additional voice lines. With all of that out of the way, grab your popcorn, your drinks, your sweets, because this is the full video of my GameCube Gaggle series. And also like and subscribe if you want to see more compilations of my videos. Nintendo GameCube, anyone? So, yeah, the Nintendo GameCube, one of the underrated and unsuccessful Nintendo consoles at its time. To its credit, it did have an impactful lineup. I think I share my enthusiasm with the community that I think the GameCube had a great lineup of games. Now, as someone who's been into GameCube games since the year 2022, since I dust off my old Wii, there have been plenty of games I wanted to try out and talk about them. Now, I had these games, some games like Mario Sunshine and Melee right in front of you. I have played these games like for a year now, while others I have played recently. Now, I won't be going over all of the GameCube games. In fact, the amount of GameCube games right here stacked are only 6. The other 2 are right here off screen. I decided to leave those out simply because I don't really have anything interesting to say about these 2 games. And those 2 games are, without further ado, let's get into it, starting with Super Smash Bros. Melee, aka one of the launch titles. Well, I think it is the launch title for Nintendo GameCube. Now, this game, I played this game since late 2022, and I think the month was October. As a fan of Smash Bros, I always wanted to play this game particularly. I mean, at that time, I played pretty much every Smash game, even Smash 64, Brawl, Smash Wii U, Smash 3DS, and even Ultimate. But at the time, with that game recently, I only managed to play that game thanks to my friend having the game. But when I finally got this game for myself, with the player's choice, I did not like it at all. Not that I think it was bad or anything, but I think to me at the time it was kind of okay, but now I tend to like it more than I did back then. I think it's, in some ways, I think it's better in some entries, but I agreed that it's pretty much an overrated game. In terms like Smash Bros games, I think Melee I think why Melee is such beloved by fans, because it introduced so many like iconic features and modes that became main staples, like bringing back old stages, having multi-man Melee, the adventure mode, trophies especially, and the list goes on. I think graphically this game still holds up well. That CGI cutscene in the opening, one of the best openings in the entire franchise, no doubt about it. But I feel the reason why I did not like this game back when is just it's how it felt to play. I think if you're used to the snappable fluid controls that on say games like Smash Ultimate, then you're gonna have a hard time going into this on your first time. I certainly had. To be honest, I knew that this game would control very differently. In fact, I think I expect this game to control like more on par with Smash 64 more than anything. Though this game is the first to introduce like new mechanics such as more directional grab inputs. And when I mean more grab inputs, I mean just throw your opponents up and down and shit, as well as side Bs or side specials. I think I have a lot of respect for this game. I think another reason why I don't like this game is just how stiff it plays. And that's my biggest problem with Melee. It feels very stiff. It feels like you can't do multiple things at a time. Have you ever played a video game where you can't do multiple things at once? You have to stop at a place and do one thing at a time. I wouldn't exactly call it directly a comparison, but it is somewhat like that. And I think with Melee, it's very obvious. Now, I think you will get used to it. Pretty much every Smash Bros. Game, if you played all of them at this point, it should take some adjustment. But yeah. Now, as for my more positives, I've already talked about the graphics and its opening, but I think when it comes to audio and the sound department, I think this game blows its predecessor. And with so many tracks, some of my favorite tracks from this game, or favorite remixes, are like the Mushroom Kingdom, both F-Zero tracks, the menu theme, both versions. There's a lot of tracks I like about. And again, this game introduces the trophy system. In Smash 64, there were plushies or soft toys. Here, we have like trophies, which became like the iconic thing of Smash Bros. And this game has an adventure mode too. And yeah, it's enjoyable. I think I do enjoy it more than most people, but at times I feel like the adventure mode could have been more handled. I feel like most of the time it just feels like standard fights. And the worst part is most of the stages are like that. I mean, the other worlds that aren't like that. I mean, you travel from Mushroom Kingdom, you travel from a Temple of Hyrule, you even run around the world of F-Zero. But then you get stuff like finding a bunch of Pikachus, finding a bunch of Kirby's, and 2 little Donkey Kongs, and 1 giant King Kong, etc. But all is made up for if you play this mode on the normal or higher difficulty, because if you beat this game within a certain condition, you get a chance to face against Giga Bowser, and all I can say is good luck, because you're gonna need it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to say with Smash Bros. Melee. I think in how I rank this game between the others, I say I prefer Smash Ultimate and Smash 4, and maybe but I still enjoy Melee a bit more than I did. I think it's a game that I recommend to anyone who are a fan of fighting games and Nintendo shit. And oh yeah, that's right, this game has a huge character roster. It even has some Fire Emblem characters named Marth and Lloyd, two characters that at the time Fire Emblem never made an overseas release. But yeah, that's Smash Bros. Melee. So, off you go! This is another game I wanted to talk about on this video, and that's Super Mario Sunshine. Now, this game is a divisive one by the fans. You will hear people that consider this game one of the best 3D platformers of all time, and you will hear say that at best it's just decent and it's playable, or at worst, absolutely crap and nobody should play it. For a long time, I never understand why people hated Sunshine. I mean, it's Sunshine. What can you go wrong with this game? And fun fact, Super Mario Sunshine is, without the first Mario game and the first Nintendo GameCube game I ever played, way back in summer 2022. And the moment I start playing it, holy shit. Super Mario Sunshine, in my opinion, with no regrets, is by far the best Mario game in terms of controls. Everything feels right about it. The way you move, jump, wall jump, it feels so much better than Super Mario 64. And as much as I really enjoy Galaxy 1 and 2 and the 3D World, 3D Land controls, I can absolutely say that Super Mario Sunshine has the best controls. And the game looks freaking fantastic. In some ways, I think, to me, it looks way better than Melee. Because with Melee, you could tell that at Melee's release, they were using character designs that look straight from the N64 era. Which they look great, but it kind of feels dated. Not to say that's a bad thing. I think Melee still holds up to this day, but I think stuff like the blurry textures in the backgrounds are a bit noticeable when you look at the graphics for a long time. But back to Super Mario Sunshine, this game looks great. What makes it even better that Super Mario Sunshine is one of the few GameCube games that I know that supports 480p progressive scan, or in the PAL regions case 60 Hz. And side note, this game also supports it. And spoilers for the few games, this game also supports it too, so there's that. But Super Mario Sunshine, this game is great. I don't get what people are hating this game. I think the main reason people hate this game, it just comes down from its difficulty, especially when it comes to 100% completion. Now, I never 100% this game, so I can't give my opinion how the experience of 100% goes for or something. So I'll just talk about more so what I like. So, for starters, the Flood Pack. This is one of the main criticisms that people talk about Sunshine, and people say that Flood is like an unnecessary dumb gimmick that did not need to exist. But to me, I think it pretty much benefits the controls. In fact, it pretty much saves you in some instances. I think when it comes to like doing jumps and stuff on hard platforming, I think the Flood, specifically its hover nozzle, can really help a lot. And two, I think I think the Flood Pack is very fun gimmick to use, even though at times well, I think it relies too much of it, but even then, I still personally don't mind. I think and as for its difficulty, I think it's just the secret levels, and I do agree, this game's secret levels are hard, very hard. It will kick your ass if you're not prepared and you're not focusing. And one more hatred with this game is the blue coins. And yeah, I'm kind of mixed with these. On one hand, I kind of like the idea of thinking outside the box and work where finding these blue coins. At the same time, at times it feels very obscure onto where to find these things. And let's be real, you're not going to find all of these without feeling the need to look up a guide. But yeah, and I think when it comes to level design of 3D Sunshine, I think I really prefer this game's levels over, say, Mario 64 and Galaxy. I just like the theme, and I like it's how very open world. I mean, you travel for, you know, wherever it's like traveling from Bianca Hills, Rico Harbor, or even like a hotel and stuff. But yeah, that's Super Mario Sunshine. If I had to pick in terms of like controls, this and Odyssey are my favorite 3D Mario games to control and play around. If I had to pick a favorite between the two, I say more to Odyssey, because I feel Odyssey kind of perfected the 3D formula. But Sunshine is not left behind, not that far. And I think it all has to do with the controller. The GameCube controller really works super well with this. It really showcases how great the controller is. But yeah, Super Mario Sunshine, great game. I don't think it's bad. I think people should give a chance. Now this game is another divisive game, even more divisive than how Mario fans feel with Sunshine. This game is a love and hated game by the fans and community. As for me, I hate to say it, but I kind of fall in the level. I'm more mixed with this than ever. Let's start with my positives. I think I love the idea of 3 characters teaming up. Each of them serves as a different purpose. I mean, with Sonic, you have his speed, Tails with his flight, and Knuckles with his strength. Each team has 3 types of those: strength, power, and hold on. Did I say strength, power, flight? Oops. I mean strength, speed, and flight. Ugh. So yeah, and I really like the levels, whether it's Seaside Hill, Ram Metropolis, Mystic Mansion, and even the Egg Fleet. I also really like how this game looks. It really feels like a 2D Sonic game brought into the 3D world. This game is very vibrant and very colorful, I'll give it that. And the soundtrack is so great too. But stats to me are like Seaside Hill, again, Power Plant and Grand Metropolis, Mystic Mansion, the casino levels, even the Egg Fleet, and especially like the Egg Emperor boss fight theme. That's pretty great. The main character themes are very great. I think my favorite has to be like Team Chaotix and Team Sonic. And this is something I should have talked about with Super Mario Sunshine, by the way. This game has great soundtrack, by the way. That's enough for that. And I also played the multiplayer, and it's very fun. Me and my friend played it back when I had this game. We used to play like the racing mode and collecting rings, as well as like the race mode. We also played more the battle mode. In fact, the racing and the battle mode are like the only 2 modes we played the most. That's it. And that's my positives. I think now from my negatives. And I think this is kind of predictable, but I don't like the controls. More specifically for the speed characters, because the power characters, they control very fine. I feel, and that's only because they're more grounded. And while they're not nowhere near as fast as the speed characters, they're just enough to feel more weighty, feel more balanced. With the speed characters, I guess the developers suspect you that you use them for running in a straight line, which is their term purpose. But the problem is though, most people are not gonna do it like that. They rather use the speed characters and only the speed characters only, unless they have to like use each type. And while that kind of contradicts the whole level design, which the entire point of the game is to take advantage of each type's abilities, that may not matter to people because they rather just play as the speed characters. And to me, I think the control's fine for the most part, but at times it really does screw me over. Sometimes I can get under control with the controls, but at the same time, or most of the time, it feels like deaths just catches me unintentionally. Another problem I have with this game, level's length. These stages are long, stupidly long. And this is the part I should mention is each team has different team lengths. Team Sonic are the more medium type. They're the normal difficulty. Their stages are like 8 to 10 minutes or so. Team Roses is like the easy mode, and their stages, they're like 4 to 5 minutes. Team Dark stages, featuring Shadow, Rouge, and Vega, their stages, since they're the hard mode, they're even longer than Team Sonic's, like 10 to 12 minutes. And Team Chaotix, RNG. Now, as for the boss fights, I think they're a nice change of pace. I think for the most part, I think they get the job done, though I really wish there were more of them. But now for the big one, the special stages. They're bad, but they're tolerable at the very least. Now, why do I say that to begin with? Well, first off, as long as you know what to do, they're not as bad, but they're still bad. For starters, what is up with the controls? Like, seriously, it feels like you're on ice the entire time. It feels like a slippery mess. And that's what absolutely annoy me. When I first play Sonic Heroes, when I try to get all the Chaos Emeralds, the special stages, especially the last one, are infuriating. Because A, bombs. 2, the controls. Slippery controls. And B, on top of that, you had to click these orbs to go fast. Here's a tip. Don't mash the boost button, just hold it down and slightly tilt the analog stick, because if you do that, it's more effective. Now, I kinda knew this trick before going into this game, but still, that doesn't excuse from the horrible special stages. I'd rather take Sonic 2's half-pipe special stages over this, but yeah, Sonic Heroes, it's alright. I don't think it's people, it's bad like people make it out to be, but I would exactly call it my personal favorite Sonic game. At best, it could barely make it to the top 10. So, this game is decent. It's at least tolerable if you give it a chance. This game is decent. It's at least tolerable if you give it a chance. And speaking of games that are not tolerable or tolerable, here's the next one. Crash Bandicoot 4: The Wrath of Cortex. Or just Crash Wrath of Cortex. Most people rather just call it that. Now this game, yeesh. This game is just straight up mediocre at best. But when you compare it to the PS1 trilogy, yeah, it's not very good. If you judge it by its own, however, I guess it's fine, but at the same time, what was going on with this game? So, this game, I think it's important to know its backstory. I feel like I don't know the entire backstory with this game, but all I know that this game was developed within 12 months, and the developers had not enough time to make this game. I don't know what the original plan with this next Crash Bandicoot game is, since Naughty Dog wanted to like move on to other projects. I guess I guess like Sony Interactive Studios just need to find a better way to like get, in this game, even telling about its backstory. This game is kind of mid, but that's enough. What are my positives first? Well, the soundtrack is absolute banger, but that's pretty much it. This game, I don't know, it's hard to explain. This game wants to be crash free, but it kind of misses the mark. The biggest criticism with this game is like the amount of vehicle levels, and I'm not against the idea of vehicle levels. I enjoy like the vehicle levels in Crash 3, except for the jet ski levels. At least in the Insane Trilogy, the original is still fun, just not the Insane Trilogy remake. Ugh, they ruined the controls in that version. But in defense, that I do like some of these. I think the atmosphere levels, I share my enthusiasm with the community. These are like the best levels in the game. They're the most fun. They're fast paced, and it's just so fun to roll in the ball. As for everything else, the other vehicle levels, they're all shit. Especially like the Dragonfly one. God. Here's a fun fact. I played Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. In fact, this was like the first traditional Crash Bandicoot game I ever played. And I say traditional because this is technically not the very first Crash game I ever played. The main gimmick of this level is that you shoot missiles, but you can't do that because you have to wait until the reticle fully locks in and then you shoot projectiles. You can't do that. This level is so out of nowhere to the point I couldn't beat this level. Plus, they already had a flying stage, a flying aerial stage in the first world, like the airplane levels. They could have just reused that, but no, they had to make a completely different vehicle level, which is something that Crash 3 never did. One of the criticisms I hear from people is also the fact that it's just more of the same. And yeah, I can see where these people are coming from. At times, it not only feels the same, at times it feels like you're playing a worse version of Crash 3. Now, as someone who enjoys the Crash games, I think you can still get some enjoyment out of it. There are some ideas, but they're just not fun in execution. I do like ideas like Crunch Bandicoot, and I do like the ideas like the Elementals, but honestly, that's what this game's got going for. This game is boring and it's frustrating too. I think my first playthrough, which, yeah, I only beat the game once. This game can be frustrating at times, especially like its controls. The controls are not great either. I don't want to waste my time with this game. This game is just boring, and talking about this game makes me feel bored at this point. So no more with Wrath of Cortex. It's my least favorite game and one of the worst Crash games ever. Now, we are down to 2 more games for this video, those being... Can you guess which one I'm gonna choose next? Now, we are down to 2 more games for this video, those being... Can you guess which one I'm gonna choose next? If you say Dragon Ball Z Budokai, then you're correct. Honestly, I won't spend too much time with this game here, because honestly, all I could say is with this game is that if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you enjoy Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I think out of the Budokai games, which I prefer like Dragon Ball Z's Kakarot's method of storytelling, and I say Kakarot because the only Dragon Ball games as of right now I played is this game and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. But when I look at it at the time it was released, I think this game's way of storytelling, the 3 arcs, pretty well done. And I say 3 arcs because this game only features the Saiyan, Namek, and Cell arc. So if you're a fan of the Buu arc, sorry to say, No. This game has also a lot of characters to play, whether it's Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, even some villains like Frieza or Cell. There's even like a world tournament which you can win a lot of Zenny by capsules which are like contain like moves, specials, even supports like sensor beams and stuff. But yeah, that's all I have to say with Dragon Ball Z Budokai. If you have not tried this game, I definitely recommend. And if you're a Dragon Ball fan or fan of fighting games in general, you'll enjoy this game a lot. Alright, we're down to one more, and that game is Mario Kart Double Dash. God, what a great game it is. With games like Sonic Heroes and Crash Raffle Cortex, I did enjoy those two games, but there's a lot of problems with those two games that are holding it back. I need to talk something positive, more positive. That's why I saved this game for last. Like Smash Bros. Melee, it was hard to get into this game. I mean, I played every Mario Kart game, from Super Mario Kart to 8 Deluxe. But after playing this game, I can say, I can definitely see this being my top 5 favorite Mario Kart games, just in general. I really like the idea of two characters teaming up into one kart. That's such a great idea that not many kart races I know don't do as much. I know Crash Tag Team Racing does a similar idea, but it's just not the same, to be honest. One thing I really do like are the special items. Some items become a staple because of Mario Kart Double Dash. I mean, you gotta thank this game for having the Bob-omb as like the default item slot. And speaking of like the Bob-omb, I really like the special items. My favorite has to be like the Bowser Shell, Chain Chomp, and even like the triple red shells. Yes, triple red shells. They're now like a specials, which I know people are gonna like criticize this game for having like items that used to be like an item that everyone could use are now locked behind specials. I personally didn't have a problem with that because it gives the player some interesting combinations to work around with. That's the enjoyment of Double Dash, just picking what characters that would suit well with their specials. Wanna use Mario and Red Koopa? Then their specials like the Fireball and the triple red shells. Want an item combination of say like the Bob-omb and the heart? Then just pick Waluigi and Daisy and there you go. One thing I also like about it is like the tracks selection. And there's a lot of standouts. We got Daisy Cruiser, Waluigi Stadium, which is one of my favorite Mario Kart stages. I actually like it than Waluigi Pinball. That's a hot take. I also really like Rainbow Road, Bowser Castle, and even Mushroom City. It's a shame that Mushroom City, that one, never made it into the booster course in Mario Kart 8. I think it would have worked well. Same with Wario Coliseum, another one. I also really enjoyed the battle mode, and like Sonic Heroes, I dabbled upon the battle mode and it was fun. My favorite has to be like Bob-omb Blast, where you just go nuts with all the bombs, throwing bombs and stuff. But yeah, that's Mario Kart Double Dash to you. I think it's an underrated installment in the Mario Kart franchises. I mean, as someone who grew up with Mario Kart Wii and DS, which, by the way, in my opinion at least, I prefer playing those two games, especially Mario Kart Wii. My nostalgia kind of takes it, but I can see, look at Double Dash, still stands out. I think it's one of the most unique Mario Kart experiences, and I definitely rather recommend you play this game if you have not given it a chance. And that's my entire GameCube collection for 2024. Obviously, as these videos will be uploaded, these videos are already outdated due to me having way more GameCube games and the fact that most of my opinions from these videos, not all, are pretty much changed. So there's that. But regardless, I had quite fun making this mini series. Of course, after this, I want to make actual full in-depth reviews. And if this mini series does well, maybe one day I can actually do the same thing with my Wii collection or better yet, just continue the series moving forward. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching this entire mini series. Hope you can like and subscribe for more videos and such. Leave a comments down below on your childhood memories with the GameCube and the games you had now and then. Check me out on other platforms such as Sparkson Plays, Tunes, and Shorts. All 3 channels, you'll see me doing Let's Play channels, music stuff, and short content for respectively for all 3 channels. Oh, and check me out in Twitch and Instagram. With that said, my name is Dante. I'll see you guys later. Peace.